Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru and welcome to my final pickups video for 2016. Before I get started, I just wanted to say many thanks to all of those of you who've been watching, who've been liking, commenting, and for the subscribers. The channel is small and that's okay. I don't expect a lot of people to come flock to what I'm doing here, but I'm just glad that people are interested in what I have to say and my Game Boy information. Hopefully there will be more of that in 2017, but also the pickups videos. So thank you very much. First things first, I thought I would show a couple of Christmas presents that I got gaming related, and you're looking at two of them right now. This hat was a gift from my buddy Zag Norch, and you guys have heard his name before. He has sent me some packages and hooked me up with some cool PSP stuff. And so, yeah, this awesome hat is actually something he got me, found incredibly good deal on it, I guess is what he got. And so, anyway, there's that. And then on the back, it says Nintendo Entertainment System. And I will quickly put that back on because I have bedhead. The other Christmas present that you're looking at is my new shirt. Technically, it's Merry Christmas to me because I bought it for myself after getting some Christmas money and stuff like that. But very cool to have this. For those who aren't familiar, this is the logo for the Wonderful 101 or the Wonderful 100 if you play the game, and it is the Wonder logo. And I decided, since you start the game with Wonder Red, and he's the most prominent character throughout the game and also happens to be one of my favorites along with Wonder Blue and Wonder Pink, I decided to go with the red t-shirt. So yeah, Wonderful 101. It's available via Redbubble. It's called Kamiya's Wonderful Shirt because, of course, the Platinum Games who released it, it was spearheaded by Hideki Kamiya. And so anyway, very glad to have this. Huge fan of the game. It's one of my favorite Wii U games. And anyway, wanted to show that off. The other one is a Wii U game that I got from my wife for Christmas, and that is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I haven't played it a lot. I played it at a friend's house a few months ago and thought it was pretty cool. And I played it for just an hour or so the other night, and I'm already 17 levels in. I would probably be farther, except I'm being a stickler for making sure that I get all 3 gems in every level, and at least where the goals are easy enough to achieve, I'm trying to go back and make sure that I get the extra goals where you get the little checkbox in the corner that if you meet that goal, you get that extra bonus, and then basically you get a marker on the level that says that you finished it, I don't know, perfectly or whatever. I'm not much of an achievement guy, but these are goals and things that are kind of built right in to the structure of the game, being a puzzle platformer. So anyway, fun game, highly recommended, gorgeous graphics, and pretty cool stuff. And now on to my trip yesterday. Yesterday was quite the day. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you know that I went all over the place. I went to 3 different cities. I say cities. 3 different very large towns in the area where I live, and they all have pawn shops and Goodwills and thrift stores and things like that. And so I tried to hit as many places as I could, plus a couple of game stores, and I was pretty happy with the overall take, so to speak, from everything that I got. So I'll show you. First and foremost, I stopped at the Goodwill that is closest to me, and went in there, their video game bin was empty. Well, it was just sports games or games with no manuals and discs that were trashed, which is pretty typical. You know, usually there'll be 15, 20, 30 games in there, and there might be one or two that are of interest. Unless I get there on a day where they've literally just put out stuff and nobody has sifted through it yet. So I thought I was going to come away empty-handed. Nothing of note in the glass case. Went back to the back of the store, and there's another case where they have a few items. They had 3 different game cubes bundled together in plastic bags, but they're all overpriced, and none of the games that came with them, except for one of the systems, was really worth anything or was stuff that I didn't already have. And the one that included at least one game that I didn't have, they wanted an outrageous amount of money for it. So I decided not to go for it. But I did stumble upon this, Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Now this should complete my set in terms of, I now own this game on all 3 consoles for this generation. And the cool thing about the GameCube version, I'll say, is that it is a 2-disc. So that's kind of fun. Not a lot of GameCube games that are on 2 discs, but kind of cool. I'm looking forward to play it. I've had a ton of fun with European Assault, minus the rather evil final level, because the last boss encounter is really hard, and I still have not beat it. But I'm looking forward to this, and I might just play the GameCube version just because. You know, like I said, I've got it on the Xbox as well, and I know technically the Xbox version of most anything that's cross-platform is going to be superior, but just for grins, I might play this on the GameCube and see how the C-Stick does for camera control, because I've never played a first-person shooter on the GameCube, and I'm curious to see how that works. So that's the first Goodwill location I went to. The second Goodwill had a couple things. Let me see here. The second Goodwill had a couple of things, including a couple things that I had not heard of. First and foremost, Disney Infinity for Xbox 360. I do now have a base, so that'll work. So this, I should be able to use this. I think it's cross-platform because it's all USB. I don't have any figures yet, but hopefully as stores start to see diminishing returns from Disney Infinity stuff, they'll start pricing that stuff bargain bin. So we'll see how that works. But the ones that I'd not heard of are, first of all, Hypersonic Extreme. And, you know, it looks like any other Wipeout style futuristic racer. A lot of loop-de-loops, it looks like, and sort of corkscrew type tracks. And I don't know, it looks like it could be fun. You can build your own tracks, which is pretty cool. One assumes that with the memory card on the PS2 that you can actually save your track build information, so that's pretty cool. And it's kind of neat. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but this track building screenshot here, it actually looks almost like a Windows style interface with menus and stuff, except a little bit old school. So kind of fun, but looks like that might be kind of fun. And the one that I've not heard of, I've heard of the games, but I didn't know they'd been packaged in this way, and that's Guitar Hero 1 and 2 Dual Pack. I didn't realize that they released them in that manner, and so I already have Guitar Hero and Guitar Hero 2, but kind of cool to have this additional sort of format or, you know, release variant. So that's kind of neat. One of the other Goodwill locations I went to in the third city I visited had a couple of things. And so, first of all, Kung Fu Panda for the 360. They had The Incredibles on GameCube, and I almost picked up a copy of Bionicle for GameCube, but it didn't have the manual, and it did look a little rough. And then also Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And so now I've got that on PS2, PSP, and I think maybe one other console. I'll have to double check. But these are all complete. I generally only pick up stuff from Goodwill if it's complete, or pawn shops unless it's something rare. One of the cool things that I found at a pawn shop that I go to occasionally, because I don't get down to this particular city all that often because it's an hour and a half from where I live, but I have found a couple of cool things there. I found a 3DO game earlier in the year, complete, really good shaped copy of Way of the Warrior. And anyway, so I occasionally stumble upon some good stuff there. And I did yesterday, I got a complete in-box Teen Titans for Game Boy Advance. And that looks pretty cool. It's some 2D fighting action. And it says over 30 baddies to beat from the animated show. So, yeah, that looks like it might be fun. And this came out after the DS had been released because it even mentions that you can play it on the DS. So that's pretty cool. And along with that, since it's hardly worth using the old debit card or credit card or what have you for one small tiny little game purchase, I also picked up the only other game there that I didn't have that I thought might be interesting, and that's Rumble Roses XX. I've never played the original, and I know that people generally don't play games like this for the gameplay, but as a collector, hey, it's one more game I don't have. Now I will go, the final Goodwill store that I hit had one game that I didn't have or that wasn't a sports game or completely trashed, and that is Open Season. So one final PSP game for the year, and it actually looks, graphically, it actually looks like it's pretty decent, at least according to the screenshots here. So we'll see, but it could be fun. I hit GameStop in the third city because I had a gift card that I got for Christmas, and so that helped me save some money. And so I picked up a few things there. I got Killer is Dead for the Xbox 360. Of course, that's Grasshopper Manufacturer, aka Suda51. Really enjoyed No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2. And I don't have Lollipop Chainsaw yet, but or Killer 7, but we'll give that a try. I got Castlevania Judgment. I've heard that it's kind of terrible, but at this price I thought, you know, it's probably worth picking up and checking out because it may be fun just for what it is. I've heard really good things about Klonoa for the Wii, being a bit of a, I don't know if you call it a reboot or a resurgence of the franchise that started back on the original PlayStation. So yeah, looking forward to that. That should be good. And I've been wanting this for a while, and with the gift card I was able to finally get this for next to nothing, and that is Kirby and the Rainbow's Curse. Looks pretty awesome. Of course, it uses the gamepad feature so that you can draw the little rainbow lines and things. And so I'm looking forward to putting some time into that once I'm done with Captain Toad, and maybe I don't know if I'll play that alongside Xenoblade X or not. And being that my channel is about Game Boy stuff, or it's supposed to be, I did get one additional Game Boy game, my last official Game Boy purchase for the year, and that is Mole Mania for the Game Boy. I don't really know much about this game. I want to say I've heard that it's not great, but that it's not terrible. But I thought it was priced at least reasonably enough that I could that I could justify getting it. They had a couple of other games there I wanted. They had a copy of Double Dragon 3 that they wanted like 15 or 20 bucks for. I've heard it's a terrible game, so I don't really want to pay that much. They also had Batman the Animated Series, but they wanted $25 for it. And I don't know if that's a good price or not. I didn't want to stick around and look at price charting while I was standing there, so I passed on it. Hopefully at that price it'll still be there, so that if it is indeed a good price, or if I can't stumble across it on the wild elsewhere, I can still find it. So Mole Mania is my final Game Boy game of 2016. Now on to the meat and potatoes. And it's funny because I'm kind of going in reverse order. The two biggest scores that I had were at the second and third places that I visited yesterday. But it was really cool to stumble upon all these games all at once. So, the first pawn shop that I hit, which was my second stop for the day, they had a ton of Xbox 360 games. Usually they have 2 or 3, and sometimes I'll pick them up if they're ones I don't have. But they actually had quite a stack. So I'll just quickly go through these here. They had Dead Space, which I don't have. I only have Dead Space Extraction. And now Dead Space 3 Limited Edition, which has 2 discs. And so, pretty cool. And we'll see what that's like. Apparently that one supports the Kinect sensor, which I don't have. Destroy All Humans, Path of the Furon. And I normally wouldn't have picked up a game like this in the black case versus the other, but like one of the other games I showed in a recent video, it's a rental. And so it'll be fun to play either way, but kind of cool that it's a rental. And it did come with the manual, and unfortunately there's writing all over the disc, or on the disc, presumably because it was a rental. But cool nonetheless. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Fallout New Vegas. So now I've got all but Fallout 4 on some format. I've got a Fallout collection for PC, and then I've got Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition for PC. And so now with New Vegas, the only Fallout game I don't have is 4. Metro Last Light, and that's one that I was kind of curious about leading up to the release. Call of Duty Ghosts, always good to pick up these kinds of games when I can get them dirt cheap, because the single-player campaigns aren't always very long, but that's really what I'm interested in. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and yeah. And then Halo Anniversary, which looks just like it's a I guess HD remastered version. Yeah, new graphics, Xbox Live Play, brand new firefight mission, new challenges, enhanced story, whatever. So anyway, yeah, Halo. And the third stop of the day, the second pawn shop, is my favorite pawn shop that I go to because I almost always find something good there. And I found some good stuff there. A whole stack of them, as a matter of fact. So we've got Burnout Revenge, Platinum Hits, the Zone of the Enders HD collection that came with a Metal Gear Rising Revengeance demo disc. And speaking of which, I also got Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So that was kind of fun. A game I'd never heard of called Two Worlds. Looks like it might be some sort of action RPG or action adventure game of some sort. So we'll see. Don't know. I got, let me get these all together so I can kind of do this. So I got Borderlands, and then I got a Borderlands add-on pack, which has two different add-ons. Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot and the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. And then I got Borderlands 2. So lots of Borderlands action to keep me busy. I got Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. Don't know much about these games. Looks like maybe they're third-person shooters. I have Prototype 2, so now I've got both Prototype games on Xbox 360. Risen 3 Titan Lords. Don't really know anything about this franchise, but give it a try. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Dead Island Game of the Year Edition. Rage Anarchy Edition. And I don't really know much about this game, but wow, it's like big apparently, because it's 1, 2, 3 discs. It's a Bethesda title, so maybe it's very big, or it's just a lot of extra content. This case that it came in is kind of gross. I'm definitely going to need to take an alcohol swab to this because of all of this junk down here. But otherwise, yeah, cool to have that. Destiny, a game I've never heard of called Defiance, which is apparently better with Kinect sensor. Don't know about that, but I guess it's related to a Sci-Fi Channel show. So we'll see what that's like. And finally, a regular Xbox game that I didn't already have, and that is Project Snowblind by Eidos and Crystal Dynamics. First-person shooter, looks kind of futuristic, could be fun. Does not say that it supports that it has HD, but the graphics do look good, and it does support in-game Dolby Digital. So maybe it'll sound good on my surround sound I have hooked up to the TV. So that is everything that I grabbed yesterday, all of my haul and all of my final pickups for the year. Again, thank you everyone for watching, for liking, for commenting. I don't always respond to comments very quickly, but I try to, and I appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate all the subscribers. And so thank you very much for helping me begin to grow my channel in 2016, and I look forward to a bright 2017 with the future of the channel. I've got some more content coming, and hopefully I'll be able to get videos out a little bit more frequently other than just pickup videos. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and game on.